Hey everyone, this is going to be an unboxing of the GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now I know there are a zillion unboxings on YouTube, and I'm kind of late to the game. I made an unboxing last week when I bought a GoPro from Costco. It's on sale. It's a really good price with the memory and a bunch of other stuff in there. So I made a review unboxing, and I have no idea why, but either I deleted it or it just didn't save on the camera for some reason. Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to do another one. The reason I returned the camera, maybe it needed a firmware update, maybe it didn't, maybe I was just being a little too picky. I noticed that a few times I had to pull the battery to get my screen doing what I wanted it to do. So I'm just going to do a quick unboxing and make some comments. Check out my channel. I did post some 4K video that I recorded, and I also posted some 4K that I downscaled to 1080p. So I'm not really a pro with this thing. I bought it strictly for because I wanted to mess around with the fish, the wide view. I want to be able to shoot some video while I'm going on the bike path. And I'd love to use my Panasonic camcorder, but that probably will not survive all the rocking around and bouncing around. So when I first took everything out of the box, I had no idea how any of this stuff worked. I just didn't know. I've never used an action camera before, and I was expecting I was going to return it, and I did return it because it wasn't working right. At least I didn't think it was. But I liked it. I liked it. I thought, yeah, this is kind of cool. When I shot my video, I used this hand grip, and I walked around by the airport. You can check out the channel and see. Please do that thumbs up, subscribe, like, leave a comment, share the video. This is a review channel, so if you want to have me review a product, if I can get a hold of it, I will do it. And if you want to donate to my channel, ask for my PayPal info. So the grip thing, I like it. I think it's supposed to float in the water. I don't know, but it was nice to use. The camera is really simple to set up, very simple, even though some people say you have to do all these settings and you gotta, don't use the GoPro color, use the flat, then go into the editing software and change the colors. I mean, people are just getting way too much into this stuff. It's video. Shoot the video, throw it on the internet. Nobody cares if it's color balanced. Nobody cares about this stuff. Unbelievable how people just get so caught up in having to overdo things, especially nowadays with YouTube and the internet. Nobody's looking at that stuff. Okay, so I am going to, you know, when I went to pack this thing up, it was incredible that I couldn't pack it all up the way it is nicely put in here. So let's see, in case you're going to be packing your system up, let's do a zoom in on how this is all put together. Two of those over there. We've got the memory card up in the front. It's always important to do this because a lot of times we have to return things and you just, you don't know how to box it back up. So we've got the case, and inside the case we have the two more attachments over there. And then we have our memory card. This comes with a 32. I bought a 128 that I'm going to be popping in. We've got the power cord over there. Right behind it we have the battery, the GoPro battery. Check out my channel. I just did a review. I bought extra batteries, a charger, and 3 batteries with the cable for like $26. It's a great deal. It's much cheaper than buying the GoPro batteries, and they're probably made by the same company. I wouldn't be surprised. And we have the little knobber over there, and then we've got this thing, this body strap. It's a strap on for your body. Did I say that? Okay, so what we have here now is we've got the camera. Really cool camera. It's pretty impressive. I'm happy with it. So let me show you how you set it up. I'm going to lower the camera a little bit so we get a better picture now. So when I set this thing up, I was like, how do you use this thing? I didn't know. I didn't understand. I've never used one before. You press on these weird buttons, and I guess these are waterproof, and that's why this one was not working so well. It was kind of bouncing around on the other one that I returned. So you press on the button and you slide down. You pull out a little bit and slide back. That's where you have your USB-C connector at the top for charging or file transfers. Check out my channel. I did a video on how to transfer files from this camera straight to the PC without having to use the Quick software. So you'll be, that's your HDMI over there, and I think this, does it come with an HDMI cable? No, does not come with an HDMI cable. It only comes with the USB-C cable for charging. So that's one part of it. On the top over here, you have your shutter, just like any regular camera. You'd have your shutter button. Over here, we have our power button. Power button, and I believe it's also a mode button. I think you can switch. Once it's on, if you press it lightly, you can switch between photo and video, and I can't remember what the third one is. I don't remember. And then you have the one on the bottom. You press, and this is where I just didn't understand how to do it. I was like, how do you do this? You hold it this way, press the button, and slide a little bit, and you should be able to pull that out a little bit more. Slide down, doesn't want to work. Okay, there it is. So it's kind of a weird thing. And I'm going to take the battery now that is over here, and I'm going to plug it in. Show you how it plugs in. And it plugs in this way. Does it plug in that way? Yeah, it plugs in that way. And that's it. Battery is in. Hopefully the camera didn't come on. And now I'm going to go get my memory card. This is the 128 gigabyte Sam's memory card that I picked up. Costco had them on sale. So I'm going to show you how to put in the memory card. And then I'm going to go to a little bit of the settings and show you what some of the menus are. And like I said, there are zillions of videos online that cover all of this. So my video is no different. Probably not as good. So you've got the back is facing away from you. Battery is towards the back. Little contacts facing you, and is it going to go in that way? Okay, so that's how you know that it's working and that you didn't put it in the wrong way and break everything. It popped out again. I'm going to push it back in. It popped in. I take the door, slide it, door is closed. And now we're going to do just a few settings so you have an idea. If you've never done this before, mine is the only video that you've seen. You get an idea of what you need to do to set things up. We probably have a lot of glare in here, so let's see if I can get this to record. Battery is in, memory's in. I'm going to press the button on the right, hold it, should beep 3 times, the camera's on. So GoPro, and now it's going to want me to set things up to the app. I'm going to go over there and press English. No. English. Legal stuff, we're still holding it. I agree. Everybody agrees to all this stuff. Capture the location. I don't really need that, so let's go with off for now. Install the GoPro app on your phone, finish the setup, leave the camera on, and follow the app instructions. So we're going to do that in a second. There it is. Get to know your GoPro. Let's go. So I'm going to go link this to the camera, and then I'll be back. I have the app over here. I'm going to press on the wheel. We're going to add a device. You have some options. Send personal info. I don't want to send personal info. I just want to add a device. I've got the Hero 7. This is the first time you're going to connect your GoPro. Yes, turn on your Hero 7. Ready. Connecting. Explore. It's obviously doing something because the camera just beeped. Okay, so it's connected. So we're good with that. And you can see the cell phone is showing what the camera is seeing. So I'm going to shut off the cell phone part now. And so I said that this was a mode button. Let's press this thing and see what happens. Did it shut off? It shut off. 17%, so I don't have a lot of battery power. I'm going to probably have to swap things out in a minute. So you've got mostly just slide menus. What is this thing? Voice control? I don't want voice control. Beeps, turn your camera beeps on and off. There's a lock over here. Screen lock, no. And I think this is the preferences. So, connections. Wireless connection is on. I don't believe I've set up the wireless thing yet. Connect device, GoPro app, Bluetooth device. I'm not really worried about a lot of this stuff. I just want to be able to do my recordings. But I'm showing this to you so you can see. Just want to be able to do my recordings and come home and general, deep volume high, default mode. I wanted video. I'm not really going to be shooting a lot of pictures on this. Auto power off. It's having a hard time focusing there. Auto power off. LEDs, all LEDs on. Video compression. I'm going to be using the H64. Time is set right. Took that from the cell phone. The date format. Okay, so let's go back now and see what other settings. It's hard to do this because I'm looking through a computer screen. I mean a cell phone. The camera screen. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's click on this thing here. Touch zoom. Slide to zoom in and out. I don't know what I just did. I'll get out of this in a minute. There's the zoom. Okay, let's get out of that. What do we have over here? Tap to change modes. Time warp, time lapse, night lapse. Okay, so I'm not really interested in any of that right now. I haven't really used the camera enough to care about any of that. This is mostly to shoot video at the bike path. And that shows the battery 15%, shows 4 hours of straight recording. That's at, I just put on the 128 gig and we are shooting, what, at 1440 10x wide. So let's click on this thing. Capture settings, and so that's what I want to do. I want to click on this. And so you've got your options here. This is the default 1440. I would like to shoot some 4K with the camera on the bike path, but I don't know if I really want to mess with that yet. So let's go to aspect ratio. The ratio of the, not going to say anything, so you've got your 4.3. So you might look at this and say, oh, I only have 2 options. No, you've got options by, you click on this thing over here, and you go to your 16.9, which is the high res. And then you've got your options for 1080. You get your 4K, your 1080. There should be more options than this. Maybe it needs an update. There should be a ton more options than this. I don't know where the options are. What happened? Field of view. Let's go over to that one while we can. Field of view, you've got your wide. So when you're on 4K, I think they're saying you can only shoot wide. I've got to get the other resolution. That's the problem that I'm having, is getting my... let's go over to here again. Okay, so we're at 6... Oh, boy. We're at 4.3. 1440, 270. There should be another setting besides this. Something's not right. Something's definitely not right. But why am I keeping this going? Because you're probably going to run into these problems too. There's a 4K, a 1080, and a 720, and it's not showing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the thing down. And that is why I returned the first one. So obviously this is just a problem that they have trying to seat this button back the right way. What else? Do me a favor, don't comment about my nails needing to be cut. I play the guitar and I need to have longer nails for some of the stuff that I do. Some of them are really short, others are very long, so just don't comment or I'll block you. Alright, so I'm going to power this thing back on one more time and we're going to see if we can get to the proper screen. I think this is what I wanted now. So we've got 14, we got auto stabilization. Somebody was talking about you want to do this Pro Tune and turn on Pro Tune. Let's do on Pro Tune. And then you've got options for white balance, ISO. Somebody was saying he does the ISO minimum 100, maximum 100. He does sharpness. He does... Why does that say HIAH? Oh, because it's cut off. Raw audio off, mics auto, PT settings. I forget what he said he does. He likes to keep the shutter to auto. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm just going through the menus for people who've never used this thing. So, okay, there we go. Before it wasn't working. You saw that I turned the thing off and powered it back up, and now I've got what I need. Wide and linear. I like the wide. I think it looks really cool. Now let's see if we can get the other settings. There it is. So when you turn the thing on, if you're saying, what the heck's going on? Where are all my settings? If you have to power down and power back up, go ahead. I don't know if that was an update that was pushed through here or not. So you can see now we've got the 1440, 60 frames. You've got all these different options for frames. Some people like to go with the 120, the 240, so they can slow it down. You know, I'm just going to be doing video of the airport, the airplanes, the bike path. I don't need cinematic 24. I don't need the high speeds to slow it down. So it just depends on how much of a big deal you want to make out of shooting your video. For me, not a big issue. So hyper smooth stabilization. That's what you want if you're going to be bouncing around on a bike. 960, I don't know who shoots at 960. 60 frames is supported at 2.7. Standard stabilization, so that's something you want to be aware of. The playback. So you've got 960. Can I scroll? Let's scroll over here. You got 4K. All right. 2.7. 1440, 960. And so for me, what am I going to shoot at? Where's that 1080? Where's the 1080? Come on, where's my 1080? Video settings. Remember what I told you? 4.3, 16.9. 720, 60 frames, you have that hyper-stabilization, which is probably what I'm going to be dealing with. 30 frames, I think we lose it. Yeah, 60 frames, we keep it. So I like to shoot at 720. I don't really notice a difference between 720 and 1080 on YouTube, and so I just shoot at 720, 30 frames a second, and it's fine. But the nice thing is that if you shoot at 720, 60, you're going to get the hyper-stabilization, which is going to be good if you're on a bike. 1080, you still have it at 60. I think we lose it at 30. Whoa, we still keep it at 30. Very nice. Do we keep it at 24? Yes. Okay, so 1080, it looks like you have your hyper-stabilization all over the place. 720, you only get it at 60 frames. Let's go back over to this. 2.7K. I don't know what the heck 2.7K is. I've never heard of it until I got this camera. 4K. 4K, you've got your hyper stab at 24. Probably at everything. At 30. To play back at this resolution frame, your phone or computer must support HEVC. So, probably the same thing. 120, it's supported? No. Okay. 240. Okay, so at 4K, you've got the hyper-stabilization at 60. When you go above, then you're dealing with some other... No, but it says you've got to be able to... Must support HEVC. Mine doesn't, I don't think. So I think 30. So 30, for the average person, unless you've got that, whatever that thing was, go with 4K at 30 frames a second. For me, I'll probably be shooting at 720. At 60 frames so that I've got my stabilization. And then you go back up here and you get rid of this thing. And low light, auto, I'm just going to leave it on that. Yeah, I'm a kind of person, I'm not going to be screwing around with color balance and trying to make my video look incredible. I just want to take video and post it on there. And some people are just way too into it. So it's just up to you personally. Again, oh wow. Remember before I had 4 hours? Now that I go to 720, 60 frames wide, I've got 7 hours of video. That is pretty cool. So I could shoot, with my memory card, I could shoot 7 hours. That's more than I'm going to need. It would be nice to do 4K, but I don't think anybody's going to care about 4K on this thing. A 4K bike ride, chances are it's going to take me 10 hours to post it and edit everything, and nobody's going to look at it. But I will do a video with the 4K soon. Okay, so that is my review of the camera. Just the simple basic setup on how to get everything going. And hopefully it helps you. As far as, let me shut off the, press the button, it should beep 3 or 4 times. For people that don't know how the heck to use this stuff, and I didn't know either, I had no idea, how do you use this? How do you set this stuff up? So what you do is... you, let's zoom out. So we've got a whole bunch of attachments, and we've got some, we got a dog barking over there. Okay, so what we have here is we've got this thing. Well, when I first saw this, I see the arrow, but am I going to break this? How do I open this up? You just take this thing with the arrow, hold it, pull back. You can see how there's a hinge over there. So it's kind of tight. Just be careful. You're not going to break it. You might break your fingernails, but you're not going to break this thing. And then you swing that back, and you open this thing up. And look over here. You see this right button over here? That's the power on-off button. That's the openings for your USB cables. If you want, I saw a video, if you want to be able to run... I don't think you can, I don't know if you can open that. Well, no, you can't open that. Okay, so the thing is that if you want to be able to connect external power to this at all times, a battery pack, so you can just shoot forever, you can open up this door over here. It's easier this way. Open up this door over here. And you can take this thing and literally pull it straight. You can pull it straight up. And that way you've got this opening. It's not going to be water protected anymore. And you could damage your thing if you get moisture in there, but you can do that, and then you can run power on there. So you take this case with this opening here and that, and you slide this in, do a nice insertion, slowly penetrate the case with the camera, take the thing, do it like that, close this, and snap it down. Okay, the dog really is getting a little fidgety here. And so you would say, well, how the heck do you connect that to this? How do you do it? I didn't know. I had no idea. I had to do some research. What you do, if you got this piece over here, you lift this rubber cup up. You always want to lift up your rubber cup. So lift it up. Take this thing, slide it in there. Get the cup out of the way. Slide it in there. Take your rubber cup. Oh, come on, don't make this harder than it has to be. Did I do that the right way? Yeah, I did that the right way. There, now it popped in. You have to push it in so it hooks in over here. and then you got to shove this thing in. Okay, so it's locked in place. Now, what you do is, depending on how you're going to hold this, I would think you would hold it like this. So you line that up, take your little screw piece and make sure it goes all the way through. First time I did that, it didn't go all the way through and the camera almost went to the ground. You want to go all the way through. This is much better than the first one I got. And you tighten that down. Now you've got a handle thing that you can go in there and do your recording with. You've also got the same idea with this thing. With this, this will clamp onto that screw over there, and I have no idea what this goes on. I don't know. This, I guess, clamps around something. I have no idea. That goes on something. Who knows? You've also got the same idea with, comes with a curved bottom and a flat bottom, so these are adhesive. You can buy these online really cheap, like six of them for a couple bucks. So if you need it, buy them. Spend the money, do it the right way so that you don't have to struggle later. That's the memory card that came with it. I think I've got everything else. Everything else out? Yeah, I showed you the body strap. And so that's about it. That's how you get going on this thing. It's really a cool kind of camera. It's very cool. And see that little button over there? There's no way you'd be able to open up that thing. And as far as other mounts, you can buy a ton of mounts. You can buy well, you could do this. You could put this on your helmet, but I wouldn't. You can buy a helmet mount. You can buy a bicycle handlebar mount. I just did a review of a bicycle handlebar mount that I just bought. I'm going to be using this on the bike. If you put it on a handlebar, you're probably going to get a lot of the bumpiness of the ride. If you put it on a helmet, you're going to get less bump. If you put the body strap on, it's probably going to be really uncomfortable. And I think that's it. So that's going to be the beginning video for people who just bought a GoPro 7 Black and don't really know what to do or how to get it working or how to get it running. That walks you through some of the menu settings and how to put in the memory card and the battery and how these bracket things work. And I guess that's it. So I do hope this helps somebody. I know I talk a lot, but if it helps you, that's all that matters. Thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you.